Wanted to make a case for tracking because I think that women not tracking temporarily their calories to see how many calories they're eating, but more importantly for me, how much protein are they eating is a mistake. So I work with women in their 50s who are going through the stages of menopause, who are working out, they're eating healthy, but they're just not able to make a shift to the body composition. And so what I see for the most part is that most women aren't eating enough calories, and they're definitely not eating enough protein. Now, I talked to a woman earlier. She's like, I do well. I'm getting at least 100 grams of protein a day. I said, wow, awesome. So you're ahead of a lot of women, because a lot of the women, they're only eating 50 to 60 grams of protein per day. And most women are just unaware of how much protein that they're eating, which is fine. That, again, this is why I plead my case for tracking. But so I said, well, about what is it? What does the tracker say? And then she was like, well, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute, which one is it? Are you tracking or not? What are you eating? And she's like, the protein isn't a problem. I'm getting plenty of protein in it. And I said, what are we having? And she said, for breakfast, I have eggs with bacon. She's like, so I get plenty of protein there. Then she said she has a protein shake. And then she says, and I also have walnuts. And then I eat, she said a few things that really weren't protein related. She said she had a salad. Oh, and then she said also peanut butter. So, which this one comes up a lot. And so I'm mentally doing the math. And I said, I don't think that you're eating as much protein as you think you are. A lot of the sources that you're having are, yes, they're protein sources, but they're also, oh, this is what it was. She's like, spaghetti and meatballs. She's like, it's whole wheat spaghetti, so it has protein in it. Well, that is true. It does have protein in it. So I'm going through it in my head. These are whole eggs, yes, bacon, sausage on some days. And so while these are protein sources, a lot of the choices that she is making for protein is mostly fat. So I think when she actually starts logging her foods, her protein is not going to be nearly what she thinks it is. And her fat, I bet, is going to be through the roof. Probably anywhere from, I would say 80 to 100 grams of fat. And we're looking at maybe 50 grams of protein, maybe 60, because I wasn't sure exactly what the shake was that she was having. And so this is why I plead my case for tracking your food using an app like MyFitnessPal. You don't have to have the premium version of MyFitnessPal. Now, it is to an advantage for, and this is not me selling MyFitnessPal Premium. MyFitnessPal Premium will track your protein per meal, your protein, carbs, and fats. That's what macros are. I really don't care about anything except for the protein, but I think in this case, it would be very interesting to see actually how much fat she's actually having per meal. You can have pizza, right? And that's going to be very heavy in carbs and fats. So what, right? If you can have another meal that has more protein forward. And so I don't have such a hard on for each meal. Yes, I want you to get anywhere from 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. So that's really all I care about, because some days are just naturally going to be higher in carbs or higher in fats. But if you can solve for protein, then that is going to go a long way towards your body composition goals. Taking the bumpy stuff off of your body, that stuff that's squishing out over your clothes, and if we can reduce the fat on your body, then you will lose weight and just feel more comfortable. So it's not so much about stripping down calories, it's really about honing in on the macros, which are carbs, fats, and protein. Are we hitting enough protein, and are we going over too much on carbs or fats? So there we go. If you want to learn more about macros, I have a free 5-day challenge coming up. Protein is the most important thing, to be honest, if you're looking to change your body composition, especially if you are a woman in your 50s who's going through any of the stages of menopause. It's even more important that we focus on protein. And so it is not a high protein diet. It is just making sure that we're getting at least 100 grams of protein. So the challenge that we're going to be doing, it is the Menopause Meltdown Challenge. All we're going to be doing is tracking protein. We're not tracking calories. I don't care about the fat or the carbs but I am going to make you aware of what are the protein sources. She said walnuts is her protein source. I'm like, holy crap, dude, that's a fat source that has some protein, just like peanut butter. And so once we're aware, then we can start to actually bring in more protein sources. So that's what my challenge is about, is to help you first identify how much protein are you having, and then how can we increase that through a variety of lean sources and fattier sources so that you can hit your protein goals. The challenge starts on January 26th. Registration on January 24th. So you have to get registered. That's how I'm going to deliver all this information to you. You're going to have me as a coach for 5 days, and it's going to be amazing. I have a guide that has a ton of high protein recipes that don't suck. In fact, I should probably rename that. So it's called the Lazy Girl Cooking Guide. It is easy to assemble meals just like this. This is my Swedish meatballs. Trying to alter your body composition and you're trying to dabble in macros, join the challenge. This is going to be the fastest, funnest way to learn how. All right, get in there. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.